Okay, let's start.
Uh, Before starting, just a small doubt. So when we
Mhm.
made that 10% growth rate and 10% drop or something, so you were telling that we can't use that percentage or sign, we can't use it there, right? But you were telling me that
Yeah,
we can use it.
yeah,
For
mathematical
example,
symbols we can use. Like in the last where we were giving the raise of 10%, so there we multiplied by like I think 1 by 100 something what we have done, right?
so the slash will always work everywhere, right? Just
Yeah,
want to confirm
yeah,
it. Okay. Okay, cool.
yeah. All right. So let's start with the clauses first, and then we will move to joins. Okay. So the clauses we have in the SQL are where clause. You all are already aware with the where clause. So with the select, whenever we give the select statement, select command, and we have certain conditions, so that time we use the where clause. Like here in this query, uh, yeah. So in the same query, we have used the where clause, like select everything from employees where department is not null, right? So here we have used the where clause with the select command. Okay. So we have in the SQL, we have the where clause where we define the condition. After where we have order by. Order by basically we use to set things in order. Okay. So in ascending order or descending order. After that, order by we have order by where and group by. Okay, so group by basically if we have like three categories. Okay, and we have in the three categories we have different products, and now we want to have a summary. Okay, so for that we use the group by. We will see the example how we can do this. Apart from group by, we have having. So whenever we use the group by clause, with the group by clause, whenever there is one more condition, in that case we use the having clause. Okay. So you can write it can be used only with group by or after group by. Okay. Let's start with examples. On the same table, we will see. Okay. So we have already aware with the group by clause, but sorry, where clause. But let's take one more example where we want to. Okay, so here. Okay, so in this query, what we have done, we have write this query to fetch the, let's say, employee select. Uh, I need to check the table first. Okay, so we want to retrieve the name of the employee. Okay. Retrieve name of the employee whose age is equals to 35. Okay, this is the question we have. Now for that, what we will write, either we can retrieve each column or we can simply retrieve any particular column. So here I only want to retrieve the name column from the employees table where age equals to 35. This is the question. And now after executing, Only Amit is the employee whose age is 35. So we are already clear when we have such condition, a particular condition. In that case, we use the where clause. Okay. So with the select statement, we use the where clause, and you can write the entire query in one line like this. Okay. After where, let's see if we use the order by. Okay. So as I said, order by clause we use for having the name. Maybe you have, list of employees, and you want to set that list of employees in ascending order, or maybe in descending order. Okay. So for that we have the order by. So you can simply either write, yeah, from here, let's take it. Say, question is set employee's name in ascending order. Okay. Now for that you will write select everything from employees, order by name in ascending order. So yes. So this particular order by name, okay, so order by clause, what it has done, it set the name of employees in ascending order. And just opposite to do this, if I want to set the name as in descending order, so I will simply execute this one. Now you see the name of the employees are in descending order. Clear? So this is very simple. Suppose you have a list and you want to, set that list in ascending or descending order. For that, you can use this order by, particular this order by clause. And which column you want to have in order by. After that, you need to mention the name of the column, and then ascending or descending. It's up to you. It's up to your requirement. Okay. Clear? These are very simple, so I think there should be no confusion. But still, if you have, you can ask. Guys, clear?
If it numerics also we're looking based on this, right? If like for
Hmm?
example, if you have instead of the age, I'm telling like the salary of each person. If you can take like, so who gets the best
Yeah.
salary? Like
Yeah, you can do that. So in place of name, you can
insert
simply
name,
add,
just give the salary. Okay, fine,
yeah.
that's it only.
Okay. All right. So after order by, we
Now I
have
raised because there is no kind of because it's a data type issues. Then if we need to have the data type or something, no need, right?
no, there's no issue with the order by. It's
Okay,
not
okay,
there.
okay. Cool. Yeah, I confused myself, so that's why I thought to ask.
It's okay. All right. So after that, we have the group by. Okay. So for the group by, let's take one table. I think in this file we have the table. Hmm, okay. And made the table yet. I think it's in the another file. Let me check. Hmm, just a minute. Let me take that table so that we can have more clarity. I'm not sharing right now. Okay. I got the file. Okay. So for the group by, we will create one table and after which we will start creating that group by class. So for the group by, so like we have seen, yeah. Okay, so here I am creating one products table, and in this products table, okay, so we have one products table where we have the product ID, product name, category, price, and stocks. Okay, these are the columns. And now let's fill the value inside this column. Okay, we have successfully created the table. Now select everything from products. This is the table. Okay, so now your focus over here. Here we have three types of category as per this table. The first category is electronics. I can see for the electronics category, we have two products. For the home appliances category, we have two products. And for the furniture category, we have one product. So basically, here we have three categories, right? Now, if I want to group by these three categories and I want to know in like each category how many products I have. So it's a small table, I can tell. But what if I have a larger table? So in that case, if I want to group by the category, for that, how we can use this? We can use the group by clause to group the categories. Okay. So if I take the question, so the question can be, the question is count the number of products in each category. So as per the table, I know for the electronics category, I have two products, home appliances, I have two products, and furniture, I have one product. So what I will write if I want to write the query for this, I will write select category. Here you can also write select everything. Okay. Select category. Obviously, I want to have the count of the product. So I will apply the count function on the product ID. So if I am writing select everything, then count function I am applying on the product ID so that I can have the product count. Okay. Product ID as, here I am giving a new name to this output column as total products. Now I need to give from which table I am applying this. So from products table. And now here we are grouping by the category. So where you apply the group by, after that you need to give the name of the column where you want to apply this group by. Okay. So okay, let's see. Near count. What is saying? Okay, yes, sorry. So one more thing. If we are applying this group by on the category column, make sure here as well you write this category. So we need to mention the category column here as well before applying the group by. If you will not, provide the category, so what mistake I have done, I just gave that select everything. So it will not work like that. because here we are doing some operation where we are counting the number of products in each category. So here in which column you are applying the group by, you need to also mention the same column over here, category, and now it will not give the error, and then comma. Yes. So it grouped by the category, and now you see for the electronics it is showing me total two products. For the furniture it is showing me total one product, and for the home appliances it is showing total two products. Okay. Now if we want to apply group by, let's see what we have in the table. Hmm, nothing is repeating over here, right? We cannot have the group by. If we see the employee, yeah, we can also apply the group by in employees table, from on the basis of department. So let's try that one as well. Yes, we can do that. So now let's apply the group by on the department. Okay. So for that I will write select and department. Okay. Here I want to have the count of number of employees. So for that I will apply the count function on employee ID. So after applying the count on employee ID, make sure I'm applying the comma, and then as total employee from employees table, and then now group by
Department.
department. It's department, right? I have written as departments. So here in the null department where we have no value, there is total one employee. For the finance, we have total two employees. For the HR, one employee. IT, for IT, we have two employees. And in the marketing department, we have one employee. So like that, you can apply the group by to see the summary. Okay. Clear now? Guys, clear?
It's
Can
clear.
we have it?
Clear for me, yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So
But when it
after,
comes to big database, any other shortcuts are there? So we, because this will not be easy to come a big
no,
database, right?
no. It is easy. So okay, let's
This
take one big. Okay, let's take one table where we
again
have like.
exam.
Okay, let me see if I have such table. Here we have one in the adventure works. We have this human resource department table. It's a big table. Okay, so let's fetch this one first. I need to write use adventure,
Use adventure.
then execute. Okay. After that, I want to retrieve, select everything
Forwarding
from
from
human
human resource department.
resources dot department.
Okay.
Okay. Now here let's apply
Group
on the group
name.
name. Okay.
Yeah.
So for that I will write.
Select
Okay. Tell.
category. Sorry. Select to group name,
Hmm. Okay.
comma.
Hmm.
So we are taking department ID then, right?
So you want to calculate, you want to have a count of department ID on the basis of group name. Like if you want to check in each
Correct.
group name how many departments are there. So for that
Yeah.
you
So for
can
example, if I
apply the
research
count.
and development, I can see engineering and tool design.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, if I take that, I can see only two. So basically, two comes to research and development, right? So basically, yeah, based on that.
Mm. Yeah, right. So basically
So,
there are three research and department.
okay,
So
okay,
like,
three. So automatically, yeah. So count department
mhm,
ID
okay,
as
S,
mm, group. So I need the total group. So the group name, right? So basically, so
yeah.
select
So you can give
group
any
name.
name.
So you
It's up
say
to you.
so group name. So basically, I can say
Hmm.
group. Sorry, department count
Department count you can give.
from. I forgot the table name. Sorry, forgot the table name is
Human resources dot
human resource dot department from human resource
resources
dot
dot
department.
department, and then
Group by the group name.
yes.
What is the shortcut of execute? F5 or some function key is there, no? What's that?
Function, yeah, function F5.
F5, okay.
So see, it doesn't matter how long table you have, you can always
Okay.
apply the group by. There is no
Okay.
limitation for the functions.
So I asked because today I got a database.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a more than 500,000 records, and it's showing
Okay.
that how many. It's basically Holier means who is operating the truck, right? And the count. So
Okay.
how many Holiers are involved in? There is a 1 million truck.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call truck visit were there. So out
Mm-hmm.
of on the 1 million, how many hauliers involved in the 1 million truck count? So basically 1,250 or something. So each
Okay.
truck may be some 10 trips, 10, 20 trips, 30 trips. The total
Mm-hmm.
trip is basically 1 million, made by 1,250 truck orders. So that's why I raised this now.
Okay. So you can apply these.
Yeah. So that's
All
way
right.
I done it in
Yeah.
Power BI, but very not a different logical way. So
Yeah. So try even. I don't know whether it is going to work or not, but at least you can have try like how
One
things are
small question. If the
working.
dash query and this
Mm-hmm.
will be any kind of a connection in terms of syntax or entirely different?
No, no, the X query are completely different.
Very different. No, not DAX by
Mm.
mistake. Sorry, Python I'm talking about.
Python is also different.
Different role. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I just yeah, sorry.
So basically, SQL is your database language. Okay.
Okay.
So, right, you just told me that you have one database in which you have different tables, right? So,
Yeah.
to help, to manipulate these tables, we have the SQL. Okay. We cannot store large data into the system, so that's why we have clouds. And here, the database are basically where you can understand it by like a cloud cabinet where we are storing our files without any difficulty. Like even the file is big.
Yeah,
So
I got it. I
to
got it. What you said.
yeah.
I can
So,
actually I can comment on one thing. We have a big database which having
hmm,
250 columns. That means 250 headers. That's a complete
hmm,
database. So actually
hmm,
I can see what is then the system which I'm using is basically a SAS or a Power BI. Only 2025
yeah,
fields. Is something additionally on above on 2025 fields, something which is we need. Out of 2025,
hmm,
always reaching out OIT. So IT is actually, I think now I understand that IT is retrieving the data this wire through this SQL
yeah,
and putting the excellence and into us.
yeah. So that is why you guys were asking what is the purpose behind using the SQL. So this is the purpose. And databases are, you know, like it's like a part of every company.
Yeah, yeah, got it. So that database will be connected to the SQL when we go work on when we get asked. The database is
Yeah,
always connected to SQL, so we
yeah.
have to retrieve information based on what they want. by using
Mhm.
SQL. Am I right?
Right, right. So basically manipulation of the data we do with
Yeah.
the use of SQL language.
Cool. Cool.
All right. So after that, we have last clause that is having. Okay. So as I said, we always use having with group by or after group by. Okay. So suppose this is the same question. Okay. Category. This is the same question where we want to have the count of the product by each category, and also we want to there is one more condition where you want to find out like okay, I need to see the question. I think the question was that the number of products in each category should be greater than 2 or should be greater than 1. Okay, so let me just copy the question from here. Find categories with, yeah, find categories with more than one product. So here we want to find categories with more than one product. Okay. So till here, okay, sorry, till here the answer will be same. Okay. So basically this query is retrieving us the count of products in each category. And now here we have one more condition that we need to find categories with more than one product. So for that we can write having count product ID greater than 1. So you see, we know that in the electronics category we have two products, and in the home appliances we have two products. And because in the furniture category we had only one product, so that is why in the output we are only getting this electronics and home appliances. Okay. So why we have used this having? So we had another condition where we wanted to have category count, but the product quantity should be in that category should be greater than 1. So we use this having after the group by having count. This is the small condition where the count should be greater than 1. Okay, clear? I will take it as a yes. And now let's proceed with the next topic, which is joins. Okay, joins basically we use to combine two or more tables. Okay. Yeah, two or more tables. What time?
This means merging which two tables into one, or like,
Yeah, yeah, merging two tables in one. So basically,
okay,
it can be two or it can be like three, but there is one condition. Okay.
okay, okay.
So for the joins, the condition says that at least one column should be common between the tables. Okay. So this is the condition of joins. Apart from this, if there is no common column, you cannot join the table. You can, but for that we have the union, we have the intersect. But if we are talking about the joins, where you are merging two tables together to form a one table for your ease, in that case, you should always look upon which column is common. Okay. So here in SQL, we have inner join, we have outer join, or full join you can write. We have left join and we have right join. And we have cross join. Okay. So let me show you the Venn diagram. Okay. So this is the Venn diagram to show how these joins work. Okay. So suppose you are joining two tables and there you are applying the left join. Okay. So now what happens if you're applying the left join? So your left hand side, so in the output, basically you will get the entire columns, entire value from the left hand side of the table and only matched part from the right hand side of the table. Just opposite to this, when you are applying the right join, so you will get entire result from the entire columns from the right side of the table and only matched part from the left hand side of the table. And when you are applying the inner join, you will get only intersect part, means only matched part from both of the tables. And in the full join, full outer join, you will get whether any value is matching or not, you will get the entire value from both side of the table. Okay. Now we have the cross join and we hardly apply the cross join, because what happens if we apply the cross join, there is that condition will nullify over here. Let at least one column should be common. What this cross join do, it basically creates combination with each value. Okay. So that is why what happens, the table will get bigger and bigger, right? So to avoid such situation, there is no use of cross join. If you have maybe any particular condition where you want to form multiple combination with each value of the column or rows, in that case we can use the cross join. But this condition like hardly comes. Okay, in real life scenario such condition hardly happens, and these four joins are really important whenever you work on the real time data. Okay. So let's see one by one. So with that, we will have the clear picture. So let's start with the left join. First, we need to create two tables and then we will apply left join for that. Okay. First, we are creating two tables, students and classes. So in the student table, we have two columns, student ID and student name. And in the classes table, we have class ID, class name, and you see. Okay, while we were learning about the constraint, there we have seen this foreign key. Correct. So as I already explained over there, that this foreign key makes sure that here tables are interconnected or have some relation. So that is why now you see student ID is column from the student table, but here we are using the student ID column in the classes table. And now here we have written that this student ID is behave or will behave like a foreign key, which is referring that this student ID is from the student table. And why I have written like this? Because I am making sure that at least one column is common between both the tables so that I can apply the joins. Okay. Let me fill the value inside and then I'll show you the table. Okay, now let's check the table one by one. First we have student table. Function F5. This is the student table. And then select everything from classes. Function F5. And this is the classes table. Now you will understand the difference. So on the chat, I am just okay. This is the classes table. Now you guys observe in between both the tables. So this is the student table we have. Okay. Yeah, this is the student table where we have student ID and student name. Okay. Apart from this, this is the classes table. Okay. So now you see here we have class ID, class name, and student ID. Now you guys can see that this student ID is common column between both the tables. Okay. So that now we can merge these two tables together. We can apply the join. Okay. Now how we can do this? So let's try to apply the left join first. Okay. Are you getting here? Like here we have the two tables, like one column common between both the tables, so that we can this is basically satisfying the joins condition, and now we can apply the join. Okay. So if I want to apply the join, so I will simply write. So suppose in both the tables, I want to retrieve. Let's see, from the student table, let's retrieve the student name, and from the classes table, let's retrieve the class ID and class name column. Okay. So for that, how we write? So because here we have two tables, and now we need to mention one by one. Okay. So first write select, then let's retrieve from the students. So here how we write students dot, and now we will provide the name of the column which we want to retrieve, student name. Then classes dot, I want to retrieve class ID, comma classes dot, I want to retrieve class name as well. Okay. So till here what we are telling with the help of the query, that I want to retrieve the student name column from the student table. I want to retrieve class ID column from the classes table, and I want to retrieve class name from the classes table. Okay. After that, we will start writing from. Okay. Now here what we will write? From students, from students left join. Okay. If you have understood these lines, what we are writing in the SQL language, you can apply any join. So the sentence will remain same, only the name of the column and table will change around. Okay. But format will be same like that only. So here till here we have right now, I'm just for your understanding purpose, I am applying these brackets, but these brackets will not be here. Okay. So here we have written the name of the column which we want to retrieve. Okay. After that, we have provided this from, that from where we want to retrieve and from where we are applying this left join. So from students left join classes. Okay. Both the tables name you need to mention. After that, On which basis we are applying this left join? On the basis of the student ID column, because this is the student ID column which is common column between both the tables. So classes on, now on the basis of student ID. So how we will write students dot student ID is equals to classes dot student ID. That's it. First, you mention what are the columns which you want to retrieve. Then from students left join classes on the basis of student dot student ID and classes dot student ID. So is this equals to is basically showing that these are equator, and this is showing that this is student ID is part of your student table as well. This is student ID is part of your classes table as well. Now after executing this is the output. Okay. Now observe from the output. As I said that in the left join, you will get the entire value from the left hand side of the table, but only the matched part from the right side of the table. Now here our student table is left hand side of the table. How we have decided? So the first table we have written after from, so that table will be a left hand side of the table. Okay. So here we have left hand side of the table, and from the left hand side of the table, from the student table, we have retrieved the student name. Now observe in the output, we are only retrieving one column. Okay, one column from the left hand side of the table, and now you see we have all the values Alice, Bob and Charlie. But the case is when we look upon to the right side of the table, here we have retrieved class name and class ID. Okay. Now here we are getting only matched value in the output. Now you see where how I can say only these value are matched value, and if you observe in the output, there is null for the Charlie. Okay. Why? Can any one of you tell me why we are getting the null value over here, and how I can identify that what is the matched value and what is not? Any idea?
I think I have to see the tables again. All
Okay, sure.
the snapshots. This is the right table, correct?
This is the left table. This is the student table and it's the left table. Now, as I said, that
Maybe
we
there is no
focus,
value for Charlie in there.
right, right. So basically, we always focus the on the common column, and here the common column is student ID. Now here we have student ID 1, 2 and 3. And now when we observe on classes table, here we have student ID 1 and 2 only. There is no mention about the student ID 3. And we know that this student ID 3 belongs to Charlie. So that is why only these two values are matching with the left hand side of the table. That is why in the output we are getting Alice, Bob, Charlie, 1, 2, math, science, but null for the Charlie. Correct?
A doubt, eh? Again, it may be a stupid
Mm-hmm.
question. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
there are two tables. One is student
Mm-hmm.
ID with the student underscore ID, and other is student ID. Student, just one word is student ID. Okay, both are featuring uh, one data type,
Mm-hmm.
which is numeric only, and both are using for the same purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, we need to know about what is the exact attribute name for doing the left join. Correct?
Yeah. So basically, we have two tables. In one table we have the student details, and in one table we have the classes details. Okay, and now how we can tell that both of the tables are connected with each other? Because we have seen that student id column, which is a common factor between both the tables. So we can say yes, these both tables are connected or linked, and now we can apply the any form of join to retrieve such
And
values. Okay,
both are both are common in table based on the attribute name, so the column name, correct? Na?
column name only. So even if the values are different in both the columns, but at least column name should be common.
Okay. In some
Okay.
cases, sometimes that in some cases maybe some of them maybe put a name
Mhm.
called a student underscore ID, another one called a student ID. So as you said that we will not able to
No,
change the
no.
attribute name.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
So
will not.
that will count as different name.
But okay, I'm just connecting to Power BI based on that. That's why I'm asking. For
Hmm.
example, in Power BI, we have this connection option there, what is called the modeling option, right? In the modeling option,
Hmm.
we can sell whether it is a different header, we can, since its values are similar, we can connect with that. So is that any kind of, because see the
No, no.
attribute
That
name is
that is
different really.
yeah, that is different thing in Power BI. Here we are, we are joining the tables in SQL.
I understand. I understand. So again, I'm asking because see these questions just because of I'm using these things daily, so I just thinking to like why it is not possible here. So that's why I'm asking. But we
Yeah.
can
So
and so we can connect that. We can, for example, uh, and again, example, student ID and student name. Okay, uh, both are.
yeah.
I know that there are
Okay,
attributes are different.
let's yeah, let's do this. Okay, let's create two tables and we will change the name and let's see whether if it will work or not. Okay, so right away we
It
can
will
see
not.
that. No, no, it's okay. So students two classes one. Here we have the student ID, but here I have clearly mentioned this student ID is behaving like a foreign key. Okay, if I will change this, it will give me error like this, because here I have already, mentioned while creation of this table that here I am using this. If I will not, if I will remove this, okay, then it will not give me error because it will count this student ID as a different column, not as the same column. Okay, so
Okay, the
that
foreign key actually
yes.
uh, look at the student ID in the other table based on the reference, right?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, this foreign key tells us that there is a connection between both the tables. It is basically, you can also think of is like a chain, and this chain is combining the table or keeping a connection between the table so that we can apply the joins.
So the foreign key, what the foreign key does it here? It's go and connect the table.
Yeah, connect the table. It is telling that yeah, both the tables are. So basically, you see uh, how we can this tell this foreign key is connecting, because this student id column
Hmm.
is part of your student table. It is not part of any other table but part of this student table, correct? You
Yeah,
can
that's
see
true.
this so here this primary key of student table, we are using this primary key of student table in the classes table as foreign key. Okay, so this student ID is primary key for the student table, but this will
Okay.
behave like a foreign key in the classes table. So this is telling us that this is the part, this for student ID column is part of your student column, and it is creating a connection between both the tables. It is telling us yes, this classes table is also telling the information about the student, and these both the tables are contain similar kind of information. It's not different. Okay, if I have, suppose if I have one student table, and if I have a one employee table, so both the tables will be different. Correct. There will be no possibility of common things between both the tables. So these kind of table I cannot join. It will not make any sense, right?
Yeah.
So
So
why
what's the
we are,
purpose of references there? References. What's the duty of
yes.
references code?
So this reference is telling you if a new person whosoever is, seeing this query, so that person will know, okay, this student. So you see in the references what we have written, students in the bracket
Student
student
ID.
ID. So here we are
Student table,
telling this.
student ID. Yeah.
Yes, yes, this is what we are telling.
Okay. This is the purpose of foreign key is to identify
Hmm.
the what you called uh, the this attribute which is student ID
Hmm.
from both tables. So
Yes.
the reference I'm saying reference basically first the system read the reference or the foreign key. System read the reference only, right?
Yeah, so we are okay after assigning this student ID as foreign key over here. We need to give a reference that this student ID is part
Oh.
of the student table.
Okay, we have to give the reference. Okay, then
But
only the
Yes, we need.
foreign key will execute
Yes,
the data.
yes,
Okay, I got it.
meaning
right.
foreign key
Now my
does not
confusion why
work
we are doing
alone.
that because we are
صح?
sorry, Swami.
Yeah, I mean, a foreign key does not work alone. It has to be linked with the word references. Is this my
Yes, yes,
understanding?
yes. Right, right, right. It
Okay,
cannot be work alone.
okay, good. Okay,
So
got it.
whenever we have, two tables, then only we apply this foreign key concept. In single table,
Yep.
it will not make any sense.
Yeah, I got it. So basically, the system when you're running this query, first the
Hmm.
reference system execute the foreign key which is student ID. And if there is a reference also student instance, then the foreign key execute the student ID. If the reference is not there, foreign key does not work. That means it stop the work. And so when you execute this program, which is starting from create table classes, one by one, if the reference is not there, the student ID this stops under on this third line. The execution stops under the third line, right? It will not go next
Execution,
row. Am I right?
actually, yeah, execution will not happen if there is an error in query.
Ah, okay.
It
Yeah,
will
no, no.
not
So
happen.
actually, what happened?
Yeah,
It is the error message.
yeah. So basically, it's you can understand it by like it's a kind of format which you follow. Okay,
Okay,
whenever you are
okay, okay.
creating two tables and you are you want to, maybe in future you want to merge both the tables for like where you have the similar kind of information, and in that case you always make sure that you are referring, okay, in this format only you are creating the table.
In this case, I know one
Hmm.
small dot. In this case, there is a student called as ABC. Don't have a student ID, but and the name is there in both table. So
Your
because
voice
since your
your
prime,
your voice is
so
breaking.
since so in this table, in these two tables, basically
Hmm.
student ID, if take a student ID as one, with
Hmm.
name as Charlie. The second table, there is
Hmm.
Charlie, which don't have a student ID. But in this case,
Yeah.
that data will not
Hmm.
correlate because the student ID is not there in the second table,
Right,
right?
right,
In
right.
that case, can we keep as a second reference by the name as well then?
Yeah. So
Like
like you're saying, yeah, I'm not like exactly getting what you're saying.
so basically, in the first table, there are names. Yeah, and,
Hmm.
student ID 1, Charlie, student ID 2, maybe ABC 3, BCD.
Hmm.
But in the second
Hmm.
table, student ID, there is no student ID, but Charlie as a name is there. And next
Yeah.
is the student ID 2, ABC, student ID 3, CBD. So basically, maybe they missed out the student ID enter in that in the second table. In that case, we can do a second connection like foreign key instead of student ID, the same table. Talk about the same table, foreign key, student ID, and foreign key name as well, both.
No, 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 that you cannot do it. For that, we have more joins. Okay. So in that case, I'm just telling you
Okay.
here that we have the if we are applying the left join, So in that case, we are getting all the values from the left hand side of the table, but only the matched part from the right hand side of the table. Now in the place of left join, if I simply write right join, okay, so now in this case we will get the entire value from the right hand side of the table, but only the matched part from the left hand side of the table. Okay, now just see the difference. Now in the right hand side of the table, class id 1 and 2 is there, class name math science is there, but only matched value from the left hand side of the table we are getting like Alice and Bob. Charlie is not there. Okay, and now if you apply the inner join, and what the inner join says, inner join says that only the matched part you will get. Okay, only the matched part you will get from both side of the table. So only this part is matching, so that is why the same output we are getting as right join. And now if I apply the full join, so what full join says, you get the entire value from both side of the table. Now just understand the difference here, like what kind of join is giving you what kind of output. Okay, so left join basically, and the thing you are saying like if you give another reference, no, that things not work like that. Once you have created the table, okay, here what we have done, we have created the table. We have mentioned that this student id column, which is the primary key of the student table, is behaving like a foreign key in the classes table, and here we have given the reference that this foreign key, this student id is behaving like a foreign key, and this student id is basically belongs to your student table. This is what we are saying with the help of this references. That's it, nothing else. Okay, once we have created the table, now on the basis of that, we are executing some operation where we want to have a merger of two tables together, and these both the tables are satisfying the condition of joins, which says that at least one column should be common between both the tables. Now on the basis of that condition, we are applying the joins. Now it's up to you what kind of join you want to apply. But what is the difference between these joins, like how which type of output we will get out of these joins? This is what we are learning over here. Okay, so we have seen the difference from the left join, we have seen the difference for the right join, inner join, and full join. Okay, let's take more examples. Okay, so here we are creating two tables, books and author. Now observe, here in the books table we have the book id, primary key, and book title. Okay, now in the authors table we have the author id as primary key, author name, and book id. Okay, so this book id belongs to this books table. So we are using this book ID in this author's tables to make sure that both of the tables at least will have one common column, and we are telling that these two tables are connected with each other with the help of this book ID column. Now here see how we have written foreign key book ID references book ID from the books table. Clear? Now, when let me fill the value inside. And now let's see the tables. Okay. Now tell me which column is common. This is your books table and this is your
The book
authors
ID.
table. Book ID is common. Right. Now you see here book ID we have as 1 3. Okay. And in the books table we have book ID as 1 2 3. Okay. Now if I want to apply the left join, okay. So what I will write, let's say I want to fetch what are the columns? Book ID. Let's fetch book title from the books table and let's fetch author name and author ID from the authors table. Okay. So select books.book title and authors dot author name, author ID and author name from books. Let's say left join authors on books dot book ID is equals to authors dot book ID. Okay. So because we are applying the left join, so we will get, so here in this part, this is the left table because we have written this table in the left hand side, and this is the right table because we have written this authors at the right hand side. Okay. So we will get entire column from the left hand side of the table, which is books table, and only the meshed part from the authors table. So if we see from here, from the screenshot, we have retrieved the book title. So in the output, we will get SQL Essential, Mastering Python, and Data Science 101. Okay. And the meshed value is and 1 and 2 only, right? Okay. 1 and 3. Yeah, 1 and 3. Only these two values are matching. Correct? So let me execute. So for the mastering Python, because there is no matching value for the book ID 2 in the authors table, that is why we are getting the null value over here. And now if I apply the right join, so only author ID 1 and 2 is matching for the author name. So that is why we are getting the entire value from the right hand side of the table where we are retrieving the author ID and author name, but only the matched part from the left hand side of the table. So that is why there is no matching for the mastering Python in the authors table. There was no book ID 2. So that is why we are getting only SQL Essential and Data Science from the left hand side of the table. Clear, guys? Are you getting my point? Naveer, Sami?
Not really, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and work on it. The problem is I'm not seeing both the tables at the same time and the output at the same time. If I
Mm-hmm.
saw, for example, the book table
Mm-hmm.
and the author table along each other with the output beneath, then we'll understand and you'll understand better the
Yes,
output. But
better.
yeah,
Right, right, right. Okay, let me show through the slides if I can. Okay. Okay. So here we have one customer table where we have the customer ID and customer name, and we have this orders table, okay, where we have order ID, customer ID, and product. So now we can see this customer ID is common column, correct? This is the common column,
yes,
right? Now, if I apply the inner join in both of the tables, and as per the inner join, we only get the matched value. So let's see what is the matched value. So here we have customer ID 1, 2, and 3, and here we have customer ID 1, 2. So the matched value is laptop and phone and tablet, correct? And there is no customer ID as 3, and 4 is there, but 4 is not in this customer table. So only 1 and 2
one
is
and two,
matched.
only one and two, yes.
Yes. So this is the output of the inner join. So here what we have done, we have written query where we are fetching the customer name from the customer table, and uh, from the orders table we are fetching the product. Okay, only these two columns we are fetching from both the tables, and now we have applied the inner join, okay, on the basis of the customer ID. Now you see customer ID name we are getting Alice, Alice and Bob, and product is laptop, tablet and phone. Okay, now see from here. Customer ID is 1 laptop, customer ID 1 is tablet, customer ID 2 is phone, customer ID 1 belongs to Alice. So Alice have purchased laptop. Customer ID 1 belongs to Alice. Alice has purchased tablet. Okay. Customer ID 2 belongs to Bob, and Bob have purchased phone. So if you see the output, we have uh, for the Bob we have phone, for the Alice we have tablet, and we have laptop. Because in the front of laptop customer ID 1 is written, in the uh, like for the tablet customer ID 1 is written, correct? And we know that this customer ID 1 belongs to Alice, so that is why from the output we can see Alice has purchased laptop and tablet, and Bob has purchased phone. Clear? Navir, what happened?
Yes, somewhere it's clear. But see, I am actually always connecting to the daily
Mm,
stuff. So I'm also thinking in that perspective. Yes, sorry.
it's okay, but right now just don't focus, with the
See, I also
perspective of your Power
confusing.
Day.
So whenever, whenever
Hmm.
you're showing that picture, na, so I like confusing because when you're talking left join, I was thinking the left circle. So the right circle is full data, and the left you're joining from some element of the left. So I'm just confusing between the left and right join. So left
You're
join, I'm thinking
confusing.
like a right join, and right joining, I'm thinking like a left join. Yeah. So from the picture, I'm able to understand.
Yeah. So from the left join, whenever we apply the left join, everything from in the output we will get everything from the left hand side of the table, but only the matched part from the right hand side of the table. Similarly, just opposite to this, everything from the right side of the table, but only the matched part from the left hand side of the table. And this confusion will get away once you start writing query by yourself. Like I will provide the sheet, like
Can
I
I
have three.
Sorry, can I call it like one
Yeah.
and two table? For example, one, there are two tables, one
Yeah.
and two. The left join means
Hmm.
I get the full data of the table number one,
Hmm.
and I get the data of a matching data from the table two.
Right.
That's a left join. And if
Yes.
I'm talking the right join, I get the
Yeah.
complete data from the table number two, and what is there in the table number two, which is the matching item in the table two and table one. I get the data from table one, only that data from table one.
Yes. Exactly. And
Okay,
in the
so
inner join, you will only get the
yeah, the only I get the
matching
matching
part.
items.
Yes. And the full in the full join, you will
Yeah,
get
like a full
all the
data table.
data.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like a full data table. Whatever matching, unmatching, everything will come there.
Right. Right.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So, Sammy, what's your status?
I will get there. Just give me some time. No worries.
Yeah, it's totally confusing to be frank, because when the
Yeah.
initial I asked a question the initial, and I
Mhm.
think I confused you guys. But when you are showing that inner, sorry, the what do you call the last, the fourth one, I forgot. In a full table, right?
Yeah.
So actually, that output, I whatever I put, I expected, I have, I
Mhm.
can see from the the full join. So I was thinking, so actually
Mm.
my question was relating to full join, not the left join.
Okay.
What are the how the match unmatched items can get it through from the data table? That's what I was asking. So when you're showing the full join,
Mhm.
understand that it is the question what I asked is belongs to full join, not the left join.
Okay. It's too much confusing, maybe.
That's
So it's
why
better.
I'm
Yeah.
putting it like a table one, table two, no left, right, nothing.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So I have like three or four sheets with the examples. So I think if you execute all the queries, no, for from the each sheet, so I think it will get more clear picture for you guys about the joins. Okay. Now I was talking about the cross join. Okay. So cross join, as I said, it creates combination with each value, and here whenever you write the query for the cross joiner, here we don't apply the formula of common table, sorry, common column. So suppose here we have two tables, customer table and product table. Okay. Now you see, here we have the customer id and customer name column, and product id and product name column. Okay. Now I want to join these two tables by applying the cross join. So now this cross join will create the combination with each value. So if I am applying the cross join, so see how we write the query for this cross join. We don't here apply the equals to, because we are not equal applying the equator for any common column. Here we don't apply, here we are neglecting this condition of common column in the cross join only. Okay. So see, this will be the output of cross join. So it created each combination for the Alice laptop phone, for the Bob laptop phone. So what happened? Two row column is now become as four row column. So it start creating multiple rows with possible combination. So that is why we avoid such join, so that because what happens, it enhance your or increasing your table rows and columns basically. So we don't want to put any burden into our database. So that is why we, and this kind of join basically don't make any sense. So that is why we avoid the cross join. Okay. But you should know what happens in cross join. So basically your cross join start make combination with each possible values. Like here we have two customer, Alice and Bob, and now you can see after applying the cross join, it created combination with uh, Alice with laptop, Alice with phone, Bob with laptop, and Bob with phone. Right. So that's why we just simply ignore. Now we have more examples for the joins. Just a minute.
I think this today is enough. Yeah, those formulas.
Okay.
I agree
Well,
with you. I agree with
wow.
you, Nabir.
Okay,
Because
fine.
I know that one thing because I'm lagging. If I'm lag,
Mhm.
whatever the what are the fees I'm paying is like a waste of money only. So I have to start it because the first two three classes is like a simple formulas. Just one practice enough. Yeah, we get to know. Maybe a formula syntax error will be there which can be sorted out as well. But when you come into here, there's more formulas are there. So we have to identify the so more not formula. The syntax is lengthy syntax. I don't think so.
Yeah.
It will store in my memory as fast like other.
Okay, that's all right. So what I am going to do, I am going to forward these three I think three word files I have for this joins, but make sure before coming on next Monday, you guys have executed all the queries in your system. Can
Okay.
I take this as a promise?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
I think see
yeah.
sorry Ranjani, because the last 2 weeks, even though if you ask me like I didn't get a proper sleep also just for info. I always every day and sleeping like 11:30 and getting up like 5 o'clock. Sometimes literally busy just because of the work only. Sometimes not busy. So the whenever the days which is not busy, I'm utilizing for just for sleeping only. See, I don't. I thought
Okay,
maybe it will
that's
be
all
like a
right.
good.
I understand.
Yeah, cool. We'll try. I will try. Maybe Sami can do a better try than me and help me us to clear out
I
her
will.
questions.
Sammy just start laughing. I just after starting his video, and he just start when I asked, he just gave me one full smile. Now Pranjali will understand. Yeah, I haven't done anything. she,
Yeah, of
she
course.
will
That's why
not
I'm not
send.
up. That's why I'm not coming in camera, na? I'm not putting on camera.
I think, Pranjali, if I don't do anything for the next time, I will not even show up, okay?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm joking, joking.
Sure. Anyway,
It's
yeah,
it's
we'll
yeah.
do. We'll do. I will do. I will do.
Okay, all right. So just right away, I'm just you guys be on call, and right away I'm sending all the files so that I will
Okay.
not forget, and you guys just uh tell me whether you have received it or not. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sammy, Navir.
You're talking the word file only, right?
Yeah, word file only. Clauses also I'm going to send.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Your Gmail, right, Navir?
Yeah. Yeah.
The same. Okay. Mm, SQL clauses and joins. Okay. So, Sammy, what's your planning for today?
Sorry.
What's your plan for today?
Right now, I'm going to do the homework of my son. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going.
I'm laughing here because my wife is always complaining that you are not doing anything for your kids. I say you are here to do. No, I want to do that, and you are a
Yes,
teacher as well. So I said, okay, fine.
and believe me or not, and he's studying. He studies in French. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and he's not mastering the French language, and he's supposed to summarize these sections from a book that he's reading. Okay, which he
Yeah.
cannot read. So I am busy, believe it or not, I am busy scanning the pages, converting them to Word on Gemini AI, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
asking ChatGPT to summarize them.
Excellent. Great job, man. Great job.
Yeah, I'm having a fun evening.
I don't have this much patience to do all these things. Just sorry to say.
Oh God.
Awesome.
Now I understood now. You guys
I
have
just
like a
yeah.
different